Hey everyone, Humphrey here with Router Guides. I'm currently in Lviv, Ukraine, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to get into Lviv because I know a lot of people are trying to get into Ukraine to volunteer, to help in whatever way you can. And I'm going to help you out because I've just done that journey. I've been here for about 1 week. All right, so how do you know that I am in Ukraine? A couple ways I could prove it to you. I bought this at a local market. For some reason, in Poland and in Ukraine, every bottled water I've bought has been carbonated. I don't know why that is. If someone can explain that to me, that would be really appreciated. And a Kyivstar SIM card. The common way for people getting into Ukraine right now is Lviv. And getting into Lviv is probably easier if you fly into Krakow, Poland. So this is what I did. I flew into Krakow, Poland. I went from Bangkok, Thailand to Frankfurt, Germany into Krakow. And then from Krakow, what I did is you could take a train if you wanted to, but what I did is I took Flixbus, Flixbus, the lime green buses, and reserved it for, I think it was like €7, €8. It was super cheap. And I went to the Krakow bus station, which is next to the rail station, which is next to the big mall. By the way, the Galeria Krakowska, the main mall in Krakow, awesome mall. It's equal to any modern Western mall. It's hung out for many, many hours there. There's like 3 Starbucks, 4 Starbucks, Burger King, McDonald's, KFC, but also a sushi place. Don't go to the sushi place. They use the wrong rice, but there's also other really nice restaurants. Okay, so you take the Flixbus, you reserve it through the internet, just search for Flixbus, and you're going to go to a city called, and I'm not even going to pronounce it, I'm just going to put it up on the video. It starts with a PRM, Przemyśl. I'm probably saying that completely wrong. So this city is near the border. It's not right next to the border, but it's near the border. And the bus is going to drop you off at their bus/railway station. And then from there, you can take, there is a train, there are some buses, but I was short on time, so I just walked out into the street, found a taxi driver. It's like, hey, I want to go to Medyka, Medyka, Medyka. And so he knew exactly where I wanted to go, and he charged me 100 zloty, which is about 25 euro. So, I mean, it's not that far of a drive, and it probably was a little bit too much, but hey, it's a taxi, and I needed to get there fast, so you're going to pay for it. So taxi dropped me off right at the border, and at the border, you're going to see a sea of refugees. You're going to see humanitarian aid tents. It's just going to be a bunch of craziness. Whenever you're going into a war zone, this is my second war that I've done, take advantage. Anytime you see food, take advantage of the food because you don't know when the next time you're going to eat. Take advantage of water, soup, whatever. If you need to use the restroom, even if you don't think you really need it, just use the restroom because you don't know when the next time will be. So you're going to see, and you can ask around, take pictures. I spent like 15 minutes taking pictures there. And then you walk across through the Polish side of border control. So exiting, not a problem, stamp, no big deal. Then you're in the no man's land in between Poland and Ukraine. Keep walking. It's actually a long hike. It was like 5 to 10 minutes. It's several hundred meters. So once you get to the Ukrainian side, there's not going to be much English, but it'll be obvious what door to open. You'll probably see people lining up outside. There's a turnstile. So if you are dragging along really big luggage, you might have to go in first and get someone behind you to help push your luggage through in the next go around because the guy in front of me got stuck because he was dragging a long piece of luggage, and he was basically deadlocked in the gate for a little bit until we had to kick the luggage through. So you walk up to the Ukrainian side. If you have an American passport, you get an automatic visa. You don't need to show any paperwork or anything like that. Now, of course, they will ask you why the hell you're going into Ukraine because it is going through a war right now. The border control officer kind of looked at me and said, "First time you to Ukraine?" "Yeah." "What are you here for?" Like, why the hell are you here? It's like, "Oh, here for journalists, pictures." They did ask to see a press card, so I'm not on assignment for any press outlet, so I don't have a press card. But if you can get one, there's tons of outlets out there. 3D print one, I don't know. But they really seem to like a press card. Press cards in Europe seem to be more of a big thing versus the US, where we don't really, I never used a press card, and when I was in Libya, I didn't use one. So, but if you just say you're American and you're just, you want to take pictures and you're not really affiliated with anyone, it's not a big deal. 15 seconds, actually about 30 seconds through the Ukrainian side. Just show your American passport, no other things needed. Also, during the war, COVID controls are no longer in effect, so temporarily discontinued. So both on the Polish side and also on the Ukrainian side. So there's not going to be vaccines, vaccination records, PCR tests, ART tests, anything like that. Okay, now you're on the Ukrainian side, you're going to see a lot more tents. You're going to see a humongous line of refugees stretching for, wow, a kilometer or more when I was there. You're also going to see a huge stretch of buses and cars that goes on for kilometers and kilometers up to the horizon. It's worthwhile to stay there for pictures. I spent about 1 hour just talking to people. Funny story is that you will see lots of Christian refugees, Christian charities helping out, and there's different buses that have different people in different religions, which is kind of interesting. And I met up with one lady, Catherine. Wherever you are, Catherine, I hope you're safe. She's from Odessa, and she put her money together and basically collected all the people that she knew and helped bus them over to the border. She also gave me a sandwich and an apple, which is pretty cool. She also tried to hook me up with other people on the bus. She's like, "Are you single? There's single women here." So I don't know if that's normal. At the border on the Ukrainian side, there's going to be tons of money exchange. Hopefully you brought a couple hundred zloty from Poland, and currently the exchange rate is 7 to 1. So 7 Ukrainian to 1 zloty. I exchanged, at the border, I only exchanged 100, so that got me 700. And it's perfectly fine, you can exchange the rest inside of the city. Incidentally, I've only exchanged about 300 zloty, and I've been here for a week, and I'm still on that 300. So bang for the buck in Ukraine. After this is all over, after this war is over, I highly recommend Ukraine for bang for the buck Eastern Europe experience in terms of money, value for your money. Okay, getting from the Ukrainian side, and the town on the Ukrainian side is called Sheny, probably butchering that. From there to Lviv, it's actually a short hike, but the roads suck. So what I did is you follow the refugee line 200 meters, and then there's going to be a road leading to your left. There's going to be a road to your left. Take the left and walk about 50 meters, and to your left you will see a bus station. It's dusty, it's not modern, it's a small bus. I'll put a picture of the bus that I took, and it cost me, once I got up to the bus driver and said, "Hey, I want to go to Lviv," it's 150 Ukrainian dollars, or UA, 150. And it was, it took a while. It was about 2.5 to 3 hours because it had a lot of stops. And I thought the bus was going to break down in any second. You arrive at the Lviv railway station and you're dropped off, and Uber and Bolt work, but if you don't have a SIM card yet, there's going to be people with taxis. You might want to exchange some more money. There's right at that drop-off point for the bus is you'll see a tallish building. It's like 3 stories, 4 stories. There's an exchange place inside. There's also a coffee place. And I ran into a couple of Americans, got some intel, but exchanged some more money. And then I found a taxi driver, and the taxi driver took me to the place, and he charged me 200 UA. 200 Ukrainian, probably a lot, but it's a taxi driver. And he took me to my Airbnb. Once again, Airbnb totally works, although the inventory on Airbnb might be low because a lot of the refugees, Lviv is kind of like the last main stopping point for refugees before they head west into Poland. Let's talk about the SIM card. So you're going to go to, once you're all situated in your Airbnb or whatever place, go to Kyivstar. So it looks like this. Their symbol kind of looks like Walmart. It's actually, yeah, it's almost very similar to Walmart. Get a SIM card, you have to show your passport, and in the Kyivstar store, there is a top-up machine. So they give you the SIM card for free, and then they'll lead you to the top-up machine. And then what I did is I put in 150 Ukrainian, actually I put in 200 Ukrainian, and just forgot about it, and now I have 4G LTE, yes. Super fast LTE around town. Once you get your SIM card, Uber and Bolt work just fine. In fact, in Lviv, it seems that Bolt seems to be the better option. The cars come faster, there's more cars, better service. If you've never used Bolt before, Bolt, at the end of the ride, you pay cash to the driver. So whatever it says in your app, you're going to pay that directly to the driver. Whereas Uber, you're being charged through the credit card and you don't need to carry cash. So it's up to you, but Lviv, Bolt seems to work better. Okay, well that was how I got into Lviv, Ukraine. And current situation now, perfectly fine. All the stores are open, restaurants are open. Sites are being covered up with plywood the Russians eventually are going to get here, and they probably will rain missiles down. A couple days ago, there was an air base in the northwest of my current location that got hit. A whole bunch of people died. But other than that, you will hear air raid sirens once in a while, but there's no bombing, there's no shooting. You'll see soldiers and tank traps everywhere, but Lviv itself is safe. And this is as of March 17, 2022. Situation can change, but yeah, I've been here for a week. All right, stay safe, everyone. And if you're headed into Lviv, private message me. And if you want any more tips, I could probably save you some time and headache. Take care, stay safe, bye.